my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So yesterday was really fun. It was really fun to hear some feedback on doing the Oh My Stars with just one charm pack. And this video here, I'll have the second half of when I taped while I was making that quilt. But before that, it is Be Nice Day. I think that's a great day. So today, to be nice, well, one, you could donate a quilt to somebody. You could give somebody a quilt as a surprise. That would be super fun, but that's not doable for every day. So, you know, buy somebody a coffee in line. Tell somebody their outfit looks amazing. Thank somebody that you don't normally thank for something that they did. Maybe your cashier at checkout. Do something like that. I think it would be a really fun day to do that. The other thing, I had critters on this week. I don't know why I did that on the project calendar, because I'm going to do critters all next week. I have Monday I'm taking off, and then Tuesday through Friday I will start critter quilt number 2. And I will get the binding on critter quilt number 1 and a label on it. So that's what I'll be doing, getting that part done too. So next week we'll start getting a second critter done, and I want to do a format a little bit different, because that makes it more interesting and fun. Not exactly the same as that one. I'm thinking sort of build something from the center. I might take the unicorn, which is quite large. I think it is the largest block, and build a quilt off the unicorn and have it as the centerpiece. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, and I think that'll be fun, really fun for us to go through. The other thing I want you to know about is on October 17th, Benartex is doing their virtual fabric event. What this is when we have new fabrics coming out, which I will show you. These are not coming in the stores now. These are ones for next year. So you're going to be getting a preview of next year's fabrics. And each designer, they do them in little groups. So you can sign up for as many of the groups as you want. And they go on their YouTube, I think, afterwards. But you can watch them live, where we each present our line, show it to you, show the digital patterns that'll be made out of it, because any little bits of fabric we might have, which are, come in early for us to check. And then at the end of each session, I think there's like 3 or 4 designers in each session, and then there'll be a little fun Q&A, which you can join in. But the best part is that if you're there for the lives, they'll give prizes. So the fabric prizes from Benartex. It is so much fun. People win bundles, layer cakes, whatever. It's a lot of fun. So you want to sign up for that. The link is in the description box below. So first, let's look at the Stitch Pink, the Oh My Stars with one charm pack. Let's look at that now. And then afterwards, I want to show you what I got accomplished over the last few days. So first, let's do the Oh My Stars with one charm pack part 2. They're the pinky reds. What I might do is I'm going to shift this one down here. Bring it down. Now I have the greens, because the greens are a bit heavier. So I do need to think about that row of 3 right there. But we'll see when I put some pink. I'll put pink on one side and see. That might just have to be moved a little bit. There's another, that red aqua block. They're just heavy. They're not sort of checkerboard like everything else. Okay, definitely have to move them. All right, I broke those up just a little bit. Still have, see, I don't know. I'll see what those 2 can do. There's another one here. So, it might be just, we had to have a couple of those. We'll see. I'm going to put the rest of the lights in now. There we go. All of the fabrics are up there now. I don't have the stars built out with the half square triangles, but let me just build one of those so you can see it. I'll just mock it up with pins. There's one of the stars, all with the points just pinned in here. And the first thing I notice is that these 2 are like a real medium tone. You think that they would be a higher contrast, but look as I pull away. You lose those star points on the top. So definitely I can't have that green for any of this, around any of the blocks around the star. So I'm going to shuffle a few more of these fabrics around, but we're very close. I mean, it looks really good. One of the stars has darker at each corner, and do you see how when you mock it up, it sort of blends the points out and loses them. I mean, it's best to have lighter all the way around, but the way doing this checkerboard, this star is going to have some darks, but I think what I'm going to do is see if I can swap at least one more of these. That one's okay. So if I can swap that one up there, this one here, with something else that's a little bit lighter. I mean, there's just not going to be a way to avoid it using the charm pack that's got darks. This one star will always going to have that darks around it, and the other ones will all have white around it just for its placement. One of the stars has darker at each corner, and do you see how when you mock it up it sort of blends the points out and loses them? I mean, it's best to have lighter all the way around, but the way doing this checkerboard, this star is going to have some darks, but I think what I'm going to do is see if I can swap at least one more of these. That one's okay. So if I can swap that one up there, this one here, with something else that's a little bit lighter. I mean, there's just not going to be a way to avoid it using the charm pack that's got darks. This one star will always going to have that darks around it, and the other ones will all have white around it just for its placement. The star points are regular sew and flip. They are just a little oversized, the squares, so that we have a little wiggle room down here and the stars will float. They won't be coming just to that 1/4 inch point. So I have to put 2 of these on for you to see. So the first way you can do this is to draw a line. That's kind of the traditional way. You draw a line and then you just sew on it. This is like no tools, no anything extra. You're just going to sew on the line, point to point. Whoop, keep it in the camera, Pat. Point to point. There you go. And once you sew this line, you will press it open like that, and you'll be trimming the back side. So let me do one with my guide on so that you can see it. So I need to have the second one here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my baby lock guide on. So, whoops, there we go. Guide's on. I've got a green guide set, and here we are. So I don't have to draw a line. And this is on many baby lock machines, this laser beam. I prefer this built-in laser. It's built into the machine. You can't add it, but you can. But there's several machines at Baby Lock that have it. My Solaris Vision has it. So there you go. So I don't have to draw any lines. But it's the exact same concept. There's also other things you can use to make the lines. So I'm going to press this open and show you. Then I'll do the second side. So now you can see on all of these that the area here is wider than 1/4 of an inch. So that when you're doing your next seam and it's folded under, it is not going to match that star point. It's going to float a little bit. You're going to see this 1/4 inch float, which makes it really nice and friendly. You're not trying to hit a point, and I just love the way it's very forgiving and fun to do. So that is why the star points are set up like this. It's just to have some fun and just be something easy to handle. I'll go ahead and sew it to the square. So here's this one. You are not going to be heading for that intersection. You are down below. So the 1/4 inch is where it is. And when I'm coming through here, see, I am not going to be right at that point. I am further down because it's floating. It's a deeper section. And here you can see it right there. And we just pull that out. Whoops, here we go. Open it up, and voila, this is what it looks like. So they will not meet there at all. So let me just put this up on the wall and talk to you before I go on to the next part. So what I have now is I have that star point moved along in the bottom corner, and then what I'll do is the rest of the individual stars, and then I'll show you that part, and then how I will sort of chunk them up to do the whole top. Let's go. Here are the stars all sewn as a unit. Now, not these outer points. They're not sewn on yet. They'll be in the border. But what I'm going to do now is just shift them into groups so that you can see it separated, which I'll put also on the pattern. So here I separated them into sections. So up here, now the border is not included, but the parts of this, these 4 by 3, 4 by 3, then this whole section, once that's sewn, they will all come together. And then the lower section is this group and that group, and then those two go together, and then they sew to the top. So I find that that's a little bit easier. It's not something I wrote the pattern for because I just wasn't thinking of it that way when I wrote it many years ago. Having made a bunch of them now, this is where I think it's a lot of fun to just sort of do it in these chunks. And I'll have this layout like this in the pattern. And here are the 4 sections. These 2 sections will go together, those 2 will go together, and then this whole top and whole bottom will go together. After that, I'll do all the border on it, and of course the star points are just separate pieces right now. They are not sewn into anything. They're just there for the visual. And so that's a wrap on how I sew the sections together. Here it is again. Here is mine from the Stitch Pink event. It was really, really fun to use just one charm pack because, you know, I had thought about this for a long time. Like how would that play out? What would be the best way to handle it? So now we have a whole video on that. And I should add these 2 videos over to the page for Oh My Stars. And I use my Pink Harmony wide back, which I think worked perfectly with this fabric line. So there we go. And there are other designers showing what they're doing with this charm pack. You can see at the Aurifil website and the Moda websites, their blogs, or their Facebook page or their Instagram page, what other designers are doing with their one charm pack. Okay, let me show you. I am excited. I did so many things. First, I got the pillow done. Oh my goodness, this took me so long. I need one of those labels for it. This took so long. I obviously am just really not very fast or interested in doing full coverage, but it does look super good. It does look super good. In my community page here at YouTube and at my Facebook group, I put a bunch of different borders as options. Whoops, and showed you different borders I might use. And you know, I want to do that other one and put a little pumpkin on it that says Halloween and the spider web. And so I might use one of the other fabrics for that. But I love this big polka dot, and I've had it a long time, and I have a lot of yardage because there is a project that it's slated for, but I did steal a bit off of it, so I hope that doesn't mess it up over time. You know how that goes. You go steal from a project that's not finished, and you're like, is that gonna mess it up? Hope not. I got the stars sewn into rows, the Christmas stars from Wendy's book. So I did the 2, we have the 2 weeks now, we've done stars, and I went ahead and got the sashings between them, that's these 2, and sewn together. And it's really nice because you're sewing just one side is solid and the other side has the points. So you only have to, so you sew from the point side so you can see it, you're not sewing blind. And there's 2, so I got both of them done. Ta-da! Yeah, I was on a major roll. I was getting things done the other day. I had a list and I was like working the list. So do you remember my project bag that Ambassador Bobby made for me with the my porch swing and the crab? So in here are my chicken salad blocks. So I sewed those 2 rows because we now have 2 full rows. I did not work on the top and the side borders for it, although one of our friends did and showed it in the Facebook group. It looked amazing, so they're way ahead. So here I've got the 2 rows sewn. So this turned out good. I was really, really happy about this because it's easier to handle too. I can put it up there. I'm not switching the blocks around. You know, I'm not deciding, oh, I want this block here or that block there. You know, this is what it is. So I'm good with, you know, having it all sewn up. Okay, now what do I have? Okay, the matchstick. Did I show you this? If I did, you're just going to see it again. So the matchstick quilting is all finished, and it feels amazing. So I need to, you know, put the binding on this one ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Then I can, this ASAP, right? You know, as soon as possible, because I want to put it in the kitchen for a little bit, and then I'll switch to a Halloween quilt there. The one that we did this summer, the free Halloween quilt, I will put it in my kitchen. But I want to enjoy this for a week or so. Okay, now the barn star. You know, we have a few small blocks, and so here is one of the little small sections. I got this, put those two together, and then I did all the parts, all the sections that I could. So here is one I've got sewn up. So this is, like, for me, this is now super important, because I can see that October, November, I'll split the rest of the blocks between those 2 months. And then, you know, that's what it'll be. So here is another section. I believe this goes like this. I'm not positive, but I think that it goes like this or the other way on the bottom left. So I was able to put these together. So as you start looking, there are lots of sections. Got another section. This is with the little, I love that pink and the gingham. Love it. Plus, this is a super darling little border. So if you were doing a quilt and needed to put a little border, I think these, you could just go to the book and get the pattern. Look at that. Wouldn't that be cute all around it? So cute. And then the piece de resistance, the large, now I took this up and put it on my bed. Okay. So I put this on the bed and it drapes over pretty good. It's not, what is the size of this quilt? I forget what it is, whether this is a 95 by 95 or 80 by 8. No, it's more than 80. It's much, like maybe 95. I don't remember. But this goes on the queen size bed and drapes over just a little, you know, a bit, a nice bit, but not enough for me. So like I'm debating now to put maybe a 3-inch border, like a white, and then a 3-inch one of the colors. Several of the ambassadors suggested green, because a lot of the blocks have, where's the green? Yeah, see the green in here? See, a lot of the blocks have the green, and I can get some of this dot still. This is a little bit older line, Country Rose by Lila Boutique, and so, but I was able to see I could get a little bit of this and be able to do some borders. Okay, so I thought Greg was coming home. Maybe I thought I heard him. I was gonna wave, say I'm doing video. All right, my friend. So I hope you enjoyed doing my, or seeing my Stitch Pink in the with one charm pack. To me, this is so cool. And remember, I did a little sheet, a little worksheet, so you can go to the Oh My Stars page or yesterday's blog post and downloaded it. I love to make quilts. So you can get some little directions on how to go about doing this, and then watch the 2 videos and see the process I went through. And I'm so happy this is done. This weekend, I'm gonna switch my quilts out. And so next week, you'll see a video with me with the quilts switched out in my living room. Okay, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.